Okay, this will be an interesting one. Let's see if we can make this one look good. Ooh, I've done many of these before. This should be a good one, I'm hoping. It's going to make it that big. Are we going to make it that big? Okay, right. Let's see. I wonder what background colour we're going to give this one. This one's an interesting one. Okay, this will be an interesting one if we can make this come up a treat. Let's see how we go. What is it? It's done heaps of these before. Styled by Nature. Well, Taaaget. So we're doing this side. The back side looks shit. It was boring. But this side, I really like the windows in this beautiful bedroom. Even though it's a fucking commercial for Taaaget or Taaaget. But we call it... Many of us just call it Taaaget just for the fun of it because it's cheap, but you do get some pretty good luxe brands with Taaaget. You get some really good, well-known brands, many of them quite luxurious, so maybe Taaaget is not far off the mark. But of course they make other shit. They make their own stuff, and some of their stuff is I have doubts about, like the electronics. With electronics I like to go with traditional manufacturers rather than Taaaget, because Taaaget's stuff is just not up to scratch. I don't think, I suspect, don't quote me, maybe I'd be pleasantly surprised, but with electronics you've got to pay a little bit of money to get good quality, and you don't want to buy really cheap electronics because it's not going to last. And as it is, even proprietary brands of electronics, even they don't last, so you can't expect much from Taaaget. They don't have serviceable. I don't know for sure, but I'm very suspicious of brands like that with their own generic brand. They might rebadge some OEM electronics, but I don't know what they do. But I've just got my suspicions, and that's pretty much it. So I wonder if we're going magenta or green, because the green is in the plants, and if we're just going to put it back and see what happens. But when you're talking about things like bedding, I bought a mattress protector off them, and I'm going to hopefully buy another one. So that should be all right. Now that's interesting, but we've lost. This one was a much better layout, but we didn't have the background colour. But the background colour looks like it's totally swamped the picture. I'm actually thinking maybe we could work without the background colour for a change, even though it looks a bit El Blando. So I'm wondering if we're going to have another try at it again. We're going to do another one again and see what happens. So we'll just put her up there again. Just going to move it around again. And we're just going to... It's amazing the green has come up really strong, because green is usually a colour that comes out kind of wishy-washy, if you know what I mean. But I wonder it hasn't been distorted by the red and made look shit. Because normally when you put red with green, it comes out looking rubbish. So I'm wondering, with the hue, if we're going to warm it up a bit, and wonder if we're just going to try this again. Wondering if we're going to make the hang on. But if we use copy density, we lose the red. We don't have the red anymore, and the brightness is still on. So we're going to kill off the brightness. And now, without the brightness, we can now use the contrast. So the contrast doesn't work with brightness. RGB doesn't work with copy density. So I wonder if these new settings are going to make an improvement or not. Okay, see how that went. Okay, well that looks interesting. It looks a bit too cold for my liking, but yeah, the shape of it is good. Wondering if we're going to do something else interesting to this. So, wondering if we're going to... We've got the Taaaget logo there, that's nice. I think shape-wise that looks good. I think we can do some other kinds of work on it. So, we're just going to throw this onto the junk pile. Or should I say, it's not the junk pile exactly, it's the recycle pile. So I'm going to recycle that. And we're just going to see what we can do to make this look good. We're going to go back, hang on, we're just going to kill that off, and we're just going to put this on the glass and we're going to reverse it back to positive and maybe throw in another colour for the bed when it turns back to positive. So it'll be white, so it'll have to be given a colour. So we're just going to put this overlap on the edges so we don't get the big ugly borders. So we have to go here and we just have to set this up. So we're just going here 104 and 104. Okay, so that's that. That's the enlargement taken care of. Now we're just going to do some different kinds of shit with this piece of crap machine. So let's see if we're going to get red back. Well, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be exactly a red, but it's going to be a distorted kind of red from reversing this back to positive again. So we're going to see how that actually works. Finish and then start. Okay, now that looks really nice. Even it's a very strange kind of look. I'm actually questioning whether I should remove the red because it adds a little bit of yuckiness. But you can see the distortion even though it's positive. Looks really nice with the yellow, like it's shining through as light on her face. So I'm thinking we're going to remove the background colour, even though it shows a little bit there. It's I sort of want to remove it. So we're just going to make that little tweak. We're just going to tweak out the background colour. We're just going to lose it and just go for that same setting and then make a mirror image. That looks good. Even though the Taaaget looks shit, you can see the distortion of colour, even though it's becoming a positive because of all those settings. And also, I think it's hard to capture the same. There's always going to be a loss when you reverse the colours and then reverse them back. So I'm actually wondering what's going to be the centre. I was thinking the Taaaget might make a good centrepiece, but I actually think this yellow bit looks better. It looks nicer. We don't want to focus too much on the branding as such. We don't want this to look just like any normal Taaaget ad. But I really like the yellow and how the blue just reverted back to yellow, or it's a shade of blue. But normally yellow's complementary colour is orange, if I'm correct. But it didn't even go back to orange. It went back to yellow. And that's a really nice colour. It's a happy colour. I call yellow a happy colour. I'm actually thinking the shape of this would look better with the Taaaget in the middle, but the Taaaget looks a bit too commercialised, if you know what I mean. So we're just going to focus less on the Taaaget and more on the person in the picture. So let's see how we go. This has come out really interesting, how just tweaking this thing as much as I do, it often comes out really strange. Often looks good too. But of course, I don't always get good results. Sometimes I might be on a demo for a long time and it's a bit of a dead-end demo, meaning that it's not coming out with anything aesthetically pleasing, or at least not from my own eyes to enjoy. Even if someone else might find the colours and shapes more aesthetically pleasing than I do. And I'm also a perfectionist, so it's not easy accepting severe imperfection in my work, even though I don't expect perfection, even though sometimes it's hard to know whether I really expect it or not. But I know that perfection is not possible in this broken world we live in. But we just got to aim for high to do it, to get it really looking, to do our things as well as we can. So if we're gifted with something, we got to use it and let the world see it. So I love to do work with these silly photocopiers, and basically I'm trying to get my talent out there on the internet. And hopefully people will see what I'm doing and that it's something valid. And I want my dad to see that this is not stupidity or foolishness, that he'll somehow appreciate it, because my dad's never accepted my passion for photocopying. So this looks really nice. I love the yellow near the middle, so I think now we can call it... Yeah, it's a little bit shitty, like it's all curling. I'm just trying to reposition this one to make it look better, but when you move one, it just wrecks the rest of the arrangement, which is really sad. But anyway, I think that's a little bit better in some ways, so I think now we can call it quits.